Hey, welcome to the My Inner Struggle podcast. I am your host, Laura Ferry. I'm so happy you're here. Things have been a whirlwind lately, and for those of you who are new here, I'll just give a little recap. I started writing a blog nearly a decade ago after going through some of my own life changes. I lost my mother, I was losing a job, and I had just had my youngest daughter, and everything was up in the air. And I decided to dive in and make a change and document my process. And you can find that all at myinnerstruggle.com. That's where the blog resides, and hence the podcast now. And I'm sharing this here with you now as I continue on my journey. And I've covered everything from divorce and dating to, financial troubles and things like that. And all along the way, learning how to love myself and accept myself in everything that I am as a person and kind of creating the life that I love. So I've spoken and written about many ups and downs and dark times and happy times. And I come with you today about getting out of survival mode because I've definitely fucking been there. And those mornings when you can't get out of bed or you feel sick and you have to run to the bathroom to throw up just because you're dreading your day or the relationship that you're in or anything like that. Or, even on your own and just not being able to get through the normal daily things that you would do. So when you're in survival mode, everything feels heavy, right? And I want to talk a little bit about that today. So when making a change, whether it's on your terms or someone else's and it's being done for you, it's a gift. And one of the first things that I want to say is that there's a phrase, and you may roll your eyes when you hear it at first, but it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And it's always hard when you're in the moment to twist that around, but once you start practicing that mindset shift, if you will, more frequently, then it'll come quicker to you. So even, I did a podcast last week on dating, and in the beginning, I you invest almost yourself a little bit in the dating world, and I can tell now after much perspective that when you are speaking with somebody and then all of a sudden they disappear and it's like, it's more than a ghost. um it's hard not to take it personally. And I've talked to so many women that, they're like, oh, well, I don't know what the problem is or whatever. It really most likely has nothing to do with you. Like 99% of the time, it has nothing to do with you. And so if you can view after that, conversation or whatever, and it happens and they just disappear, that it happened for you, not to you. And that's something that I would strongly suggest putting into practice. All of the crappiness that happens, and it's hard to remember, like, okay, until after and much perspective and sometimes healing, that you can say, okay, that really wasn't a good situation for me, and there is definitely a reason that I needed to get out of it, but I wasn't going to take myself out of it. So whether it's a relationship or a job or anything significant like that, and sometimes it's the small shit too. So knowing that we have the ability to change our mindset on what is happening is huge. You don't have to feel shitty. You don't have to blame the other person. You can just accept it and move forward. And sometimes that's hard. Actually, yeah, it was really fucking hard. Um, so anyway, so let's kind of go backtrack a little bit to the definition of survival mode and what that might look like. So, I have an online subscription service, basically, that's called the Self Love Club, and you can find it at myinnerstruggle.com. But we were on our weekly call, and we've talked about some of the things that we're doing mainly when we're in survival mode. So we discussed this in one of our weekly discussions, and we talked about the fact that we may not even realize that we're not doing these things, or we do and we kind of brush it off, but it's as simple as showering in the morning. If you can't bring yourself to take care of yourself, there's something that you need to change, whether it's your job or whatever. You can figure out the why and you can drill that back, obviously. But not being able to get out of bed, not showering, not taking care of yourself, period. Whether it's with food or you're abusing alcohol or something else, because you can't get through those normal tasks, there's definitely an issue. So you need to kind of ask yourself, like, why? What am I feeling in this moment? And then figure out how to fix it. And I'm here for you, obviously. Hit me up on my website, shoot me a message, follow me on social media, so that we can get down to it, because life doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to be living in survival mode. You can be perfectly happy and surrounded with the right people if we work at it. And it can be hard, but knocking out of bed, not being, not putting your hygiene in front of everything, or just taking care of yourself, eating or not eating, drinking, um, washing the dishes, like watching the shit pile up around you, just because you can't bring yourself to go through the stuff, or take that step. So what we want to do is take some baby steps, and it might take a little while, and that's perfectly okay. And I think I just wrote it recently and I've quoted it to a few people, but I felt as in sometimes that I kind of took the long way home and went through a lot of things very slow. And so sometimes when I'm talking to people, I can see it clearly, but I know they're going to go at their own pace too, and that's perfectly okay. Baby steps. We want to get to the next step. It doesn't matter how long it takes, but you have to push yourself so you get there. So the effects of being in survival mode can compound day by day, right? The more we feel crappy, the crappier we feel, and it's a cycle that feeds on itself. But being happy and doing healthy things has the same effect, but in the opposite direction and the place that we want to go. Don't be afraid of feeling good. It's okay. That's a whole other discussion. But when you're in survival mode for a long time, that can lead to more major anxiety, right? So if you've ever been stuck like at home, when we were stuck at home in COVID or in a snowstorm or something like that, and you find yourself like, I'll put off going out a little bit. And I was definitely in survival mode. I did not want to get out of bed every morning. I felt like I had no purpose. I couldn't bring myself to clean the house. I couldn't bring myself to shower. I couldn't bring myself to do anything good for myself, because of that mental state I was in. I wasn't sure if I made a mistake. I wasn't sure what my direction would be, what my purpose was. And it's a very scary place. But when we start doing small things for ourselves, we start to feel better. And don't be afraid of the good feeling that it brings. You deserve that. You deserve to feel good. That's what life is all about. As many happy moments as possible. We're not here that long. So it can also have a major impact on relationships, with your spouse, friends, family, your children, especially if they're living with you and they're witnessing your pain. Not that we have to hide our pain, because I think it's important and it builds humility in our children, but we also want them to see us succeed, right? So feeling and knowing it's okay to cry, it's okay to yell sometimes, it's okay to feel sad, but I'm going to take these steps to get better. And that's really important. So when you're in survival mode, it's really important, where you are now. And if it takes you, a few days after you've listened to this, or a week or weeks or a month or something, and then you're like, you know what, I'm going to do it. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. Get there. Push yourself outside of your comfort zone to get there, and then start building on those things. We spend a long time in contemplation, just like say you're going to start a new exercise like regimen, right? And on your own, you're not necessarily going to like a class or something, but you're having to come up with it on your own. You'll think about it for a while, or contemplate, should I do this or should I do that? And how How long? How many minutes? Is that enough? Is that enough? And we're judging ourselves all fucking day. Just stop and do something that feels good. So set the intention the night before. If you're having trouble getting out of bed in the morning and you have not pinned down yet what it is that's bothering you, whether it's the relationship that you're in or a job that you're going to that you hate or a boss that's always berating you or um, a spouse that's making you feel bad about yourself or something or whatever, and you haven't figured it out yet, just start with the basics. Get up and get in the shower every day. Get up and get in the shower. And if you need to sit in the shower with the hot water on you until you start to feel better, then fucking do it. But get up and get in the shower and get out. When we leave our space, it kind of leaves us vulnerable, right, to the outside world in so many ways. But it's really good for us to get out. So I know that when I was struggling with anxiety and depression and I was um, say it was during COVID or if it was in a dark time and I didn't want to sit there on my weekends with the kids, like depressed and sad. I'm like, I got to get out of here. Let's just go for a ride. Like, just let's get out of here. And it really changes everything. So if you start feeling yourself falling into that like depressed mode, recognize it, feel it, or if you're having an anxiety attack, something like that, recognize it, feel it, but know, okay, I'm going to be okay. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end to this attack, and I'm going to move forward. If you're just kind of in a depressed mode because you're not happy where you are, or you lost your job, or you're trying to figure out your purpose, and that's what can leave us with a lot of questions, right? Just get up and get moving. Go for a walk, get out of the house, go for a drive. Even sometimes, if you can step outside, if you're at work and it's stressful and you don't want to be there, step outside and let the sun hit your face for a few minutes. Take a few deep breaths, drop your shoulders, and get back in there. Because we're not going to move forward onto the next thing if we don't continue what we're doing. It can't just stop, right? We have to make progress and figure out what the next step may be and make a good, educated decision. And I'm relating that to a lot about work because a lot of people that I speak with, they don't necessarily love their job or they're looking for something more, for more meaning. And I can totally fucking relate to that. And that was what a huge driving factor in making that huge change for me. So I understand that and working through the process. Of finding your purpose is tricky, but you're totally capable. And again, I'm here for you if you need it. So, getting out of survival mode. We're getting up, we're getting showered. Do the basics like a robot until it becomes a habit, and then start stacking things on top of that. Whether it's, feeding yourself or becoming more prepared for your day. Once you start doing these good things, more good things will keep happening. Um, Mindfulness exercises. So I'm guessing if you're in this space, you're not someone that necessarily is meditating regularly or taking some time to work out or practice mindfulness, something that is going to help you feel better, but also something that's like physical. And I'm calling meditation physical because I think it is physical. So you may be sitting still, but that is a mindfulness practice that leaves you feeling your body feeling invigorated as well. Just taking those breaths and taking the time for yourself. So, um, getting out of survival mode, say maybe eventually after you start um, doing those basics, getting up on time, taking a shower, things like that, start incorporating some exercise or mindfulness into your day, or both, if you can. But let's not go even down that road too far because those are down the line. We're just trying to come out of this survival mode. So, meditation and deep breathing really help us reflect within. And they're great sort of avenues to go down to just stop and take a moment for yourself because that's really important. We often don't, especially as moms. We're racing from here to there, and I'm totally guilty too. racing kids around, running around for ourselves. We're doing everything for everyone else. You definitely deserve the 5 or 10 minutes each day just to take a moment for yourself. And of course, I want you to take way more than that, but we're all capable of taking 5 minutes for ourselves. We have the time. You just need to prioritize that. Learning how to shift your negative thoughts into positive ones is a practice without a doubt. I wouldn't say that I would default to the negative, but I think I didn't know how to get to the positive. I would think positively for other people and go, you can do it. I'm the biggest cheerleader and encourager, but I couldn't really get there myself. Instead of thinking, and I wouldn't necessarily voice it, but it was always the voice in my head. Feeling unloved or undeserving or unlovable, I should say, and undeserving and about a situation. Of course, now I'm going to be stuck in traffic. Of course, like things like that. And so when we start reframing our mindset with the positivity in um, thought and the priority, basically, that changes a lot of things. So as I said before, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So you got fired, that really sucks. It does suck. And you weren't prepared for that, obviously, financially, mentally, emotionally, any of those things. However, I think after you've gone through this like deep dive, if you take the time, you have to take the time and make yourself a priority. Take a week and kind of just be in yourself and explore your thoughts and your processes and like what you might want to do next. And I seldom ever really hear people in my existence that have left a job or been fired from a job or something like that that weren't better off eventually down the road. And it's like sometimes those things are the barriers or the boundaries like we never would have taken for ourselves. So if we were let go, out of our control, right? If we were let go, it's happening for you, not to you. And you just have to see through the weeds. And maybe that'll put you on this different path that you had never explored before or thought, maybe eventually if I was forced to or something like that. But when you have this great opportunity at a new slate, it's really cool and take advantage of that. So, goal setting is another one because when we don't have a goal, we're just kind of floundering. So, a goal is really important, and not everybody agrees with that mindset, but um, I do because I don't think that if you don't have a goal in mind, not that it's like this giant, it has to be this big thing, I want to make $1 million or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be like that, but like some sort of goal, like you want this next move in your career should be, you want to make more money, right? I want to make, whatever. So you want to make more money or is the goal to have more time, So when we have things like that we're heading towards, that really helps drive our direction and gives us a purpose to get out of bed in the morning. I knew that I wanted to help people. I didn't know what it was going to look like. That was the whole point. When I started the blog, I wanted other people to feel like they weren't alone because that's how I felt. I felt like I was navigating all of these things on my own. And whether that was internal and just the feeling never satiated by having company, or I was with the wrong company, or it was childhood trauma, or whatever it was. But I didn't want people to feel like they were alone. And I wanted to help people. I wanted to help people love themselves, but I didn't know what it was going to look like. But that was my goal. And as I went through each phase of this transformation, I was able to drill down a little bit further and a little bit further. And then I've arrived at this scenario. I love doing this podcast. I love hearing from people and saying, thank you. That helped me a lot. I needed that today. I love hearing from people that say, wow, I thought I was the only one. I love hearing from people that say, like, hearing you or seeing you like on Facebook helps me because I don't have the courage yet, but I want to have the courage. And all of those things make me feel really, really good. It's a little selfish, I guess, but I love helping people. And I love the fact that I can set boundaries now and still continue to help people. As women, as moms, we tend to sacrifice a lot for everyone else around us. But if there's no one here who's going to do the same thing, and I think it's not like in a bitter way, we just talked about this in club too, but like we can't expect the same thing from other people because other people might have healthy boundaries, for themselves, or we're raising our vibration to reach the people that can offer us the same love and support that we are giving. That's the whole point. You want to find your tribe, raise your vibration. In any capacity, whether it's in work, in the dating world, just in your personal life, the friends that you meet. There's so many people that I know that are similar that would pour into relationships, friendships, and bend over backwards. And then, like, when push came to shove, they couldn't be there for you, and maybe they weren't capable. Maybe they didn't have the capacity at the time to be able to listen. But you need that. You need those supportive people in your life. And so when you start raising the bar, it raises the bar of everyone. So you are going to probably you lose some relationships in your life, and that's okay. It's happening for you, not to you, because you're raising your vibration to meet the people that are meant for you. Wow, that was a tangent. So, if you feel like you're in survival mode and you don't know where to start and you don't necessarily have someone to talk to, reach out online. Like, reach out to me on Facebook, or I'll connect you with the community and start participating. So having good supportive people around you was something that I felt like I was missing. And that is why I created the Self-Love Club. It was just a place where um, women can grow together. I'm still going through it. I'm forever going to be going through it. And we all are. And we're all at different stages and accomplishing different things. But we all have this one commonality of seeking community and support and building confidence and building resilience and learning how to appreciate ourselves and love ourselves and be supportive, but set healthy boundaries. So join a community like that where you can feel less alone, and it's here for you, the Self-Love Club. If you feel like you need a therapist, go. It's not scary. I shouldn't say that. It's not scary. Everybody has their level of scary, but I promise you, you're going to feel better. The good outweighs the nerve-wrackingness, if I can say that. Seeking therapy is a great tool. Seeking community is a great tool. It's okay to ask for help too. So if you do have people around you that you know would be willing to help or listen, then call on those people. Ask for help. It's important. It's important. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. The people that are able to help you will, and the people that can't won't. And that's okay. That's okay. We need support around us. Celebrate your small wins, just like the big ones. That's it. If your goal this week, if you get done listening to this and you're like, you know what? I'm going to make sure I get in the shower every single day this week. Celebrate that. Celebrate after the first time. Celebrate the second time. Make a chart for yourself. It doesn't really matter. Do whatever you need to do to take that baby step to get you on your way to feeling better and getting out of survival mode. Set a goal for the week. I want to shower every single day this week. I'm going to get up on time every day this week and get out the door to my job or whatever. Celebrate those small wins. I hope this helped you, and I hope that hearing this or listening to this and watching helps you take one baby step forward this week. or plants a seed that you are capable of getting out of survival mode and you're capable of feeling good. You deserve to feel good. So let's hope that this gives you one baby step in the right direction, some inspiration. Share it with me. Please hit me up on Facebook or on the website. Shoot me a message on social media. Do me a favor, please hit subscribe wherever you're watching or listening. And if you're loving it and getting something out of it, please share it with a friend. Maybe it'll be just what they needed this week. Maybe so. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm so happy and I'm so thrilled to be able to do this like with you and here. I love getting your messages. Um, yeah, I'm just really, really grateful. I am thinking of you and sending you so much love, and I will see you soon.